What would you do if a hardworking single dad was fired without warning, only for the CEO to discover that he had just secured the biggest deal in company history? In today's emotional and inspiring story, you'll see how one rushed decision changed everything and why respect and trust matter more than power. This shocking workplace drama is filled with unexpected twists, valuable lessons, and a powerful ending you won't forget. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories. Now let's get started. Ethan Brooks arrived at the downtown Chicago office before sunrise, as he did almost every day as a single father. Raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, he had learned how to manage every minute of his schedule. After preparing breakfast, helping Lily get ready for school and dropping her off, he headed straight to work. For 3 years, Ethan had been one of the company's most dedicated project managers. He often stayed late, solved difficult problems, and helped his teammates meet impossible deadlines. Despite his efforts, few people knew how much pressure he carried outside the office that morning. The atmosphere felt unusually tense. Employees whispered in small groups while rushing between desks. The company was waiting for news about a major client deal that could transform its future. Ethan had spent months negotiating with the client, building trust, and preparing a strategy that could secure the contract. He knew the final decision was expected soon, but he remained calm and focused. Around 10 hours, an urgent message appeared on his screen. CEO Victoria Hayes wanted to see him immediately. Ethan grabbed his notebook and headed to the executive conference room. As soon as he entered, he sensed something was wrong. Several department heads were seated around the table, and Victoria's expression was cold. Without offering him a chance to speak, Victoria accused Ethan of causing delays that had supposedly put the company's biggest opportunity at risk. Ethan tried to explain that the client had requested additional revisions and that everything was still on schedule, but she cut him off. Convinced that he was responsible for the recent setbacks, she announced that his employment was terminated effective immediately. The room fell silent. Some managers looked shocked, while others avoided eye contact. Ethan stood quietly for a moment, then nodded instead of arguing. He returned to his desk and began packing his belongings. Before leaving, he carefully placed a sealed envelope and a flash drive on the desk. Then, with one final glance around the office, he walked away without saying a word. The office remained unusually quiet after Ethan Brooks left. Several employees exchanged nervous glances, unable to believe that one of the company's most dependable managers had been fired so suddenly. Meanwhile, CEO Victoria Hayes returned to her office. Convinced she had made the right decision, she believed strong leadership required quick action, especially when millions of dollars were at stake. Yet as the afternoon passed, an uneasy feeling began to grow in the back of her mind. A few hours later, she walked through the project department to review the status of the company's biggest client account. That was when she noticed something sitting neatly on Ethan's empty desk, a sealed envelope and a flash drive he had left behind. Curious, she picked them up and carried them into a conference room. Victoria opened the envelope first. Inside was a signed agreement from one of the largest technology firms in the country. Her eyes widened as she read the final page. The contract was worth over $120 million and guaranteed years of business growth. Attached to it was documentation proving that Ethan had successfully secured the deal earlier that morning before he had been called into the meeting. Her hands trembled as she inserted the flash drive into her laptop. Folder after folder appeared on the screen. There were detailed market analyses, client presentations, negotiation records, financial forecasts, and strategic plans. Every critical piece of work behind the agreement had been created and organized by Ethan. Then she noticed a handwritten note. Success comes from teamwork and trust. Take care of both. Victoria stared at the words in silence. For the first time that day, she realized the full weight of her mistake. She had fired the very person responsible for the company's greatest opportunity. She immediately called Ethan, hoping to convince him to return, but the call went unanswered. Within weeks, Ethan accepted a senior leadership role at a competing firm. As his new company flourished, Victoria carried the lesson with her: everyday respect. Patience and listening are just as important as authority.